Alright guys, now we're going to talk about splinting long bone. So for this one we're going to say that our patient has a fractured radius ulna or forearm. So again, first thing we want to do is PPE and introduce ourselves to our patient. If we need to, our partner will take C-spine precautions. We're going to assess airway, breathing, and circulation. My partner is going to take manual stabilization of the forearm itself. I'm going to check CMS again, so circulation, as in pulses, motor, wiggle for me, and sensory. Can you tell me which finger I'm touching? Once that is intact, I'm going to measure my SAM splint again. You can use a SAM splint, you can use cardboard splints. Against the uninjured extremity, since this is a long bone, we need to immobilize the joint above and the joint below as long as the bone itself. So since this is a forearm fracture, we need to immobilize the elbow as well as the wrist. Okay, so I'm going to measure up against the uninjured extremity. Okay, this guy fairly well measured out. One thing that I like to do, I like to fold up the end of the SAM splint so that whenever I put it on their forearm, they have something to hang on to. So again, while my partner is still holding stabilization, I'm going to place my SAM splint, make sure that it is molded to my patient's arm. I'm going to once again get my Kerlix, and we're going to start to wrap. One thing that I like to do with my Kerlix is in the very end, I'll form a small hole so that I can put this over his thumb so that it helps hold the wrap in place. And we're going to begin wrapping the splint to the arm. Again, we want it to be nice and snug, but we don't want it to be so tight that it is cutting off circulation. Again, we're going to avoid wrapping on the inside of the elbow. And we're going to tear the ends into two once again so that we can tie off our splint. I'm going to create my sling and sloth once again. So one end underneath. The corner with the knot comes to the back of the elbow to create a little pocket for the elbow to sit into. Going to come up behind the neck once again, tie off my sling. Again, this is to prevent extension and flexion of the elbow. And then we are going to create our sling and sloth one more time. So I'm going to have the patient sit forward, get my sling and sloth into place. I'm going to tie off my sloth. Again, this is to prevent lateral rotation so that he's not able to bring his arm out and in like this. I'm going to reassess CMS, so I might have to move some of the Kerlix wrap to get my fingers in. I'm going to check pulses. Motor, can you wiggle for me? And which finger am I touching? And that is the end of splinting a long bone extremity.